We are just going to absolutely plow this guy. There is no competition. We are simply built different. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Dripped out with the Guardian bow with Carol's? Who is this guy? And the Sara HM's Murmur too? Who's worn one of those in the last 10 years? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm Bloodcoven, and this is my Headhunter Ranged Rebuild. The premise is simple. I've locked my range gear and other useful items from my account behind a series of challenges that increase in difficulty as the stages progress. I clear a stage consisting of 3 difficult boss fight challenges, I remove some of the restrictions from my account, and then up the difficulty for the next stage of challenges. Think of it like Sisyphus pushing his boulder up a hill. We constantly have to start again under different circumstances, and if that wasn't enough, we're going to be rebuilding from scratch with nothing but my Bow of the Last Guardian, a powerful but difficult to use ranged weapon that I've never used before. We're going to be going from this to this in a matter of time. Hello and welcome to episode 3. So this time I want to do the Godwars Dungeon 1 challenge, where we're going to kill all the bosses on hard mode with no food in one trip. I don't think this is going to be too hard, but I do need to do a bit of prep work. I don't know what to expect since I haven't really done my homework, but I think Elder Overload is going to be a good shout for this since extra damage, extra accuracy. You can't really go wrong really, and I've got plenty of cash to throw around because I collected heaps of Blood of Orcus. And talking about heaps of money, it's time to collect our oyster, where we're going to get ourselves that's not a blood die. Okay, thank God we got another reroll on that from the dinosaurs in the last episode, if you remember. We're just going to reset the D&D, do it again to pick up our blood die for the month, and set us 8 bill ahead to get a good start. That's also not a blood die. Okay, look, 3 fortune components, I'm happy with that. We're going to sell them on the GE with a bunch of other shit that I've picked up over the last few days, and boost up our cash stack a little bit more. And here's our second inventory of junk. Let's see how much we're pulling from this. A cool 13 mil, not too bad. We'll throw that in the GE, hopefully these sell quickly. And while we're at the GE, some of you might have noticed my cash stack bouncing around a fair bit. There's a good reason there, and that's basically, I was flip merching Tetracompass supplies, so I've been ripping off the poor archaeology farmers out there that are just looking for their Maddox 1k at a time. Thanks guys, appreciate it. So now we got a healthy cash stack, let's get ourselves a pocket slot item. I've been avoiding these because I don't really know anything about the original God books, but I've decided to go with the Book of Armadyl. It seems pretty cheap to run, but the pages are going to take a little while to buy, so we might as well do something else while we wait for them. Let's take a look at player-owned ports. I've stacked up a few trade goods since I've been doing this pretty religiously in the background. Got a couple of ships waiting here, so hopefully we can pick up some ancient bones to get a head start. It's looking good so far, so we can at least make some scrimshaws. I'm thinking we want to make log splitting scrimshaws at the moment, since they're probably the highest cost per ancient bone. Just make sure you're doing the tradable ones and not the untradeable ones like I almost did there. They're not very helpful to us right now since this is a PVM challenge, not a skilling challenge. Let's throw them in the GE, hopefully they sell for mid-price, but we've been burned a few times on those in the last couple of months. Moment of truth, let's see. That's not a good start, hopefully they sell. Alright, come here Quercus, I've got 100k for you, give me that wilderness sword so I can teleport to the events nice and easy. Had to pass this one up in episode 1, but feels good to come back and throw some money at this guy. I'm sure he's been working pretty hard collecting all those warbands loots from people. It's been a long time since I've been back there, I kinda miss those. It's kinda hard to justify though, especially because the wilderness events are just so good sometimes. So here's a transition event no one expected. We are about to start the Tomes of the Warlock quest in the city of which is, you guessed it, necromancy related. But we're not going to be doing any necromancy per se. There is a good reason here, and that reason isn't that I've abandoned the entire challenge to do necromancy instead of range. I don't make things easy. Y'all should know that by now though. Tomes of the Warlock's a pretty easy quest overall. You just got to collect a few items from around RuneScape and do some archaeology. I'm going to use these fixate charges that I've still got left over to mine the necromantic focus that we need straight away. I don't want to waste my time just getting the wrong item and spending ages here unnecessarily. Just make it easy. There's our focus obtained. Now we just got to go to get it fixed up nice and quickly and drop it off to this guy over here to start the next step. He's going to send us on a bit of a trek to pick up some books from some people around Gielinor. We're starting off from Reldo and Varrock, then heading to this guy in the Wizard's Tower, and this guy in the basement below the Yanil Wizard's Tower, and finally the last one for the Menethos Library. Such a nice looking location. I'm actually impressed by the water in RuneScape for once. That's cool. Just got to fix up these books really quickly, then we'll drop them off at the same person from before. Next we're off to talk to Death, who's going to send us on our next and final step. And we're going to finish up talking to Ted over here near the Well of Souls. Alright, nice and easy. That's another quest done in the series. Let's take a look at the Well of Souls at the Darkness power, which is the reason we did that last quest. Darkness is a Necromancy invocation, which gives us 20% damage reduction by increasing our dodge chance. It is a Necromancy ability, but I'm going to allow it in this challenge since it's more of a utility spell, if anything, and every class can access it without penalty. I probably should have checked, but I don't have the requirements to unlock this one just yet, actually. I still need to collect a few thousand more souls, and I got no idea how I'm going to do that. Wish me luck. It's officially time to kill some bosses. So Necromancy is going to take a back seat for a while. We came here for this challenge to do range, and range we will do. As we can see here, this is my setup for the first challenge, which is going to be Godwars Dungeon 1, all bosses on hard mode with no food in one trip. Let's talk about the notable things in my inventory. First of those, Shard of Zaros, so I don't get gangbanged by every monster in the entire dungeon. Next thing we want to look at is the Ripper Demon for the extra damage. We're going to bring the Armadyl Book of Lore as well to do a bit more DPS there. We're packing the Volan Bombs as well for a bit more damage. And we've got the full arrows as well for even more damage there. I'm going to choose the Vampirism Aura for the extra healing since we ain't got any food. And we're going to start off this challenge at Armadyl since it's probably the biggest threat. We're going to do Sara HM next, then Zamorak, then Bandos. Since we haven't got any food, the strategy is going to be really simple. We're just going to try and kill them before they can kill us. So we're going to maximize our DPS and try and dodge specials where we can. I'm going to be disrespecting the bosses a little bit because I haven't done any research on any of their special attacks or abilities. I also don't think I've killed any of these in the last 10 years, so we'll just jump to it and see how we go with this one. But not before we struggle with the interface. You'd think I'd slow down and learn to read, but here we are again. Right, here we are. Armadyl Godwars. Let's potion up. Apparently you're supposed to hide in the corner for this one. I can do an excellent job of that. Armadyl Book on. Ripper Demon is called. Pop the ability. We need to get to the whatever the fucking bow spec is ASAP here. Pop that one. Shards. 3. Down to 0. He's going to go immortal for a second for some reason. We're going to ignore that and keep firing at people. I don't know what happens if one of these hits me. I'm going to try and avoid it. Alright. We haven't got long left on my specky thing, so... Do they stun me? Is that what it does? Alright, so we just didn't even take any damage, and I didn't actually know I've ever killed this boss before, so here we are. Okay, that was a good speed run. Let's get out of here and run straight to the next one. Let's just go straight for it. I know I've got to kill this one with an ultimate, so no one let me use Deadshot, and before the boss dies, I'm gonna Swiftness though, because fuck waiting around for anything else. Alright, let's do it. I need to stop target cycling. It's locking onto the closest thing. That is not useful. BoLG spec. Oh my god, she's absolutely taking a hammering. Holy shit. Alright. Now what? Alright, you come back to life? Okay, let's do it that way then. Come in. Why are you frozen? Let me hit you! Thank god. Can I hit you yet? Ziliana, are you broken? No, we're chilling, we're chilling, we're chilling. I do need to get to the ultimate thingy so I can actually kill her. Okay, I'm just going to evacuate the premises and run around for a bit. Sorry for everyone's ears, I'm sure that's real fucking loud. Hit her with a dead shot. Easy. And another record, look at that. Breaking them left, right, and center. You know, grand total of like 100k DPM here. Embarrassing numbers, but we're learning, goddammit. Straight on to the next one, let's not fuck around. Alright, let's go. I don't know what any of this boss's special attacks are, so we are going to live and we're going to learn. Let's absolutely do it to him. With the Volan Bomb as well. Max DPS. That was not a great use of Great Ricochet. We are still learning. Alright. Okay, we are just going to absolutely plow this guy. There is no competition. We are simply built different. You can't compete with this gameplay. Doesn't even get a spec out, or maybe he does. He almost did. Oh, you love to see it. We get some loot, please. Subjugation would be nice right now. Nah, not a chance. All right, on to the next. Bandos. All right, we've arrived. Unfortunately, we do have to Elder Overload again. That's cool. We make supplies to use them. Here we go. Number 3, let's not throw the run. This is for the challenge. And then we can go and do something else. Join. Why can't I read? I swear I can read. I went to school. I'm a good kid. All right. I've heard you just got to run around in circles with this guy, because if he gets close, he uses some reflect attack or he knocks the floor and it might kill you if you're unlucky. Let's go. We're on a time deadline. All right. Lead him with a frag shot, since that's a bleed that makes more damage when walk. Why say few word when many word when few word do trick? I'm just taking him for a casual stroll around the park. No dramas in the slightest here. Alright. And then just gonna keep poking him down. Oh, watch this. Watch the frag shot. So much damage this does. Oh, it's a big bleed. I'm so glad he didn't reflect. I was committed to that bleed then. Alright. Well, I think that's it. I think that's just it. Bye, Grador. That was fun knowing you, buddy. Alright. Yeah, so that's the first challenge. Let's get the frick out of here and do some talking. Challenge 1, huge success. Who would have thought a bow that cost 2.5 billion GP would demolish bosses that were released in 2006 that easily? Gotta give some credit to the shoot them in the face until they die fighting style. Usually a good staple in RuneScape. Sometimes you just gotta prayer flick though. Not this time though. We are way too tanky for that with our god tier Carol's armor, obviously. I'm thinking in the next episode, we need to put our Carol's armor to the test and probably try out our next challenge, which is going to be the solo next one without a beast of burden. I'm not too worried about this since I've done a lot of next kills over the years and it's probably one of my favorite solo bosses overall. She does kind of hit like a truck sometimes though, so I'm not too sure how this one's going to go. It's going to be a bit like fighting without an arm and a leg. I've gotten too used to the luxury of the Eldritch Crossbow spec and the Dark Bow spec, so it's going to be a change of pace here. Probably not any 2-minute kills, but we'll see what we can do. This was actually the first boss that got me into PVM back into 2013, when I was doing trios with a couple of clanmates, back when this boss was hard. It's going to be nice to go back there and see if we can get some loot. Obviously it's all the late body first kill, no questions asked, right? I'll leave you hanging on that one, so thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next episode, and don't forget to leave some feedback if you're enjoying.